Hello everybody, my name is Smarty, short for Smarty Reads, and welcome back. Today I'm going to read Chapter 5 of Ch.5 Mallory. It's called Weekend Woes. Before we begin, make sure you like this video, subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you know when I upload a new video. Also, share this video with your friends and family so they can watch me read as well. Other than that, let's begin. Weekend Woes. If I had to rate the first week of school a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I'd give it a thumbs sideways. Some good things happened. I like all of my classes, especially Mr. Morano's social studies class. The theme for our year in social studies is the world around us. Our first unit is about states and capitals, which sounds like it could be boring, but not with Mr. Morano. He plays a guitar and has a song for every state. He already sang us his A State song, which was about Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, and Arkansas. I wasn't the only one who liked his song. When he finished singing, everyone in my class clapped and cheered like we were at a concert. In art, Mrs. Pearl said we were making life-size papier-mâché sculptures of dogs and cats. I brought in a picture of Cheeseburger and asked her if I could make my sculpture of my cat, and she said yes. I can't wait to have a sculpture of Cheeseburger in my room. And best of all, Miss Thompson seemed to have forgotten the question I asked her. She didn't bring it up again, and it didn't seem like she was upset with me either. Unfortunately, some not-so-good things happened this week, too. Marianne and Zoe were practically inseparable. Whenever I saw them at school, they were together. We can't be apart. In homeroom, walking to class, at lunch, every other minute of the day. I tried to be friendly, and it wasn't like they weren't friendly back. At least Zoe was, but every time I was around them, Marianne acted like I wasn't even there. And Thursday night, when I texted Marianne and Chloe Jennifer to see if they wanted to sleep over, Marianne never responded. I thought maybe the problem was that Marianne didn't see my text. When I got to school on Friday, I asked her if she wanted to sleep over, but she told me she had other plans. After homeroom, I watched her talking to Zoe, and I knew what those plans were. Thinking about the fun things they would be doing without me made me feel like I had just watched a sad movie. That feeling stayed with me all afternoon, and even last night. When Chloe Jennifer came over, she asked if everything was okay. I'm fine, I told her. Are you upset that Marianne isn't sleeping over? She asked. I wasn't sure what to say. I didn't want Chloe Jennifer to think I wasn't happy that she was sleeping over. A little bit, I guess. Chloe Jennifer nodded like she got it. Me too. It's kind of weird how Marianne has been spending all her time with Zoe. As Chloe Jennifer and I talked about how close Marianne and Zoe seemed to be getting, I felt bad that I hadn't thought about how this was making Chloe Jennifer feel. Chloe Jennifer and Marianne aren't best friends, but Marianne and I are. But they are close. When Chloe Jennifer first moved to Wish Pond Road, we both hung out with her a lot. Now Marianne is spending even less time with her than she's spending with me. We can have fun without Marianne, I said. Of course we can, said Chloe Jennifer. And we did. We popped popcorn and watched a movie and stayed up late talking about the fun things that are happening this year at school that we have to look forward to, like Pajama Day in 2 weeks. But when Chloe Jennifer left, it was hard not to think about how Marianne didn't want to come to the sleepover. I think Mom could tell something was wrong because she asked if I wanted to go to the mall. She knew I needed a cover for my phone and offered to buy me one. Can I come too? Asked Max. I was surprised Max wanted to come, but we all piled into the van for a family outing to the Fern Falls Mall. On the way there, I was starting to feel better. It was sweet of Mom to offer to take me, and I was excited to get a phone cover. Can we go to the kiosk that sells phone covers first? I asked Mom. Sure, she said. I expected Max to say he wanted to go to the sporting goods store first, but he didn't argue. When we got there, everything was fine. Mom and I started looking at the selection of phone cases. There were so many cute ones. I made a pile of the ones I liked best. A purple and pink striped one, a leopard print case, and a blue one with rhinestones. I couldn't decide which one I wanted. Even though Max is no cute phone case expert, I turned around to ask his opinion. But when I did, Max was talking to a girl. She was wearing a baseball cap, and I could tell she had a face full of freckles. "Mallory, this is Sam," said Max. I was starting to get why Max said he wanted to come to the mall. "Duh, Sam?" I asked. As soon as the words left my mouth, I wanted to stuff them back in. I thought Max was going to get upset, but Sam laughed like she thought it was funny, and that made Max laugh too. "Wow, I'm famous," said Sam. I let out a breath and smiled. I was glad Max wasn't mad about what I'd said. "So, which phone case do you like?" I pointed to the pile I made on the counter. Max shook his head like he didn't have an opinion, but Sam did. "I like the striped one," she said. I was about to say me too, but before I could, I saw Marianne, Zoe, and Winnie walking towards the phone cover kiosk. I wasn't sure they had planned to stop, but it would have been weird if they hadn't. "Hi," I said like I was glad to see them. Zoe was the only one who said hi back. Marianne looked at me like she couldn't imagine what I was doing at the mall, even though going to the mall is something she knows I love doing. I looked at Marianne like my feelings were hurt that she didn't come to my sleepover last night, and hadn't invited me to come to the mall with her. Winnie looked at Max like he was the last person to see on the planet, like he was the last person on the planet she wanted to see. Then she looked at Sam like she was the second to last person she wanted to see. Max looked like he'd rather be anywhere than the mall with Sam and Winnie. Sam smiled at Winnie. "So what are you guys up to?" she asked. "Huh?" said Winnie like that was a ridiculous question to ask, even though it wasn't. It was pretty clear that Sam was just trying to be friendly. It was also clear that Winnie had no intention of being friendly back, even though she and Sam are in the same grade at school and seem to know each other. Max opened his mouth like he wanted to say something, but had no idea what to say. Everybody was just standing there looking at everybody in this weird way. Finally, Mom broke the silence. "Do you know which phone cover you want?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. I grabbed one off the counter and handed it to Mom. "Are you sure you want this one?" she asked. "It's kind of plain." I looked down at the gray case in Mom's hand. I didn't care what it looked like. I just wanted to get out the mall. I saw Winnie poke Marianne as Mom was paying. "We have to go," she said like they had somewhere important to be. Mom finished paying and I watched them walk off together, whispering and laughing. "That was weird," Sam said once they'd walked away. "Yeah, sorry about that," said Max. Sam shrugged. "No big deal," she said. Then she told us she had to meet her mom, who was waiting for her. We all said bye, and as I walked into the van with Mom and Max, I couldn't help thinking that what had happened was a big deal, at least to me. As I thought about it, my eyes filled with tears and my head filled with questions. The Questions in My Head by Mallory McDonald. Question 1. Why were Marianne, Zoe, and Winnie acting so weird at the mall? Question number 2. Why didn't Marianne ask me if I wanted to go to the mall with them? Question number 3. As Marianne, Zoe, and Winnie walked off, were they talking about me or the fact that Max was talking to Sam? Question number 4. Why was Max talking to Sam? Does Max like Sam? Does Sam like Max? 3 questions, but they all kind of belong together. Question 5. Is Winnie going to be mad if Max likes another girl? Question number 6. Is Marianne going to be mad for Winnie if Max likes another girl? Question number 7. If Max likes another girl, is Marianne going to decide she doesn't want to be my best friend anymore? Question number 8. Has Marianne already decided that? Question number 9. If she has decided that, does it even have anything to do with Max? Question number 10. Or does it have everything to do with Zoe? As I got into the van, those questions kept going around and around in my head. I just couldn't figure out why Marianne was acting like we're hardly friends. I tried to think if I'd done something to make her mad, but I couldn't think of one thing. When Mom got into the van, she handed me the bag with my new phone cover in it. I took out the package. Then I added one more question to my list. Why did I buy such an ugly phone cover? That's the end of that chapter. I'll see you next time when I read From Bad to Worse. Bye, everyone.